Good morning, South Florida.
And welcome to the Brooklyn Cafe Morning Show.
Grab your coffee as we brew up the talk of the day.
From the latest scoop around town
to feel-good stories and messages of hope.
A few jokes and live calling.
Highlighting local businesses.
Discussing hot trends and news stories.
A dash of feel-good nostalgia.
I love those morning cartoons.
Keeping up with upcoming events.
Sometimes trying a delicious foods.
Weekly horoscope updates.
An occasional flying duck.
Some sparkle dust.
Don't forget my bell.
And my wand.
With our brew crew laughing on set.
So grab your coffee, your bagel, donut, or any breakfast as we get you up and ready for the rest of your day.
And don't leave us hanging. Give us a follow. Comment live or call right into the show at 888-994-4995. Spill your beer.
Whether it's a tip of the day or just to say good morning, we'd love to hear from you.
From Amp Media Production Studio, it's
the Brooklyn Cafe Morning Show.
Dawn, where's the snooze button?
Freddie, it's time to get up. We got a show to do. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Hang tight, guys. I'm pressing the snooze one more time.
And it's time to do a show.
Morning time, snooze button.
Roll off.
Find out.
Welcome to the morning show.
Happy Hurricane Day to you.
I got my safari hat on.
I see that.
I am hunting wabbit.
Wabbit season? It's
Wabbit
like
season.
too puffy up here.
Excuse you. Don't be touching my head. What's the matter with you? It was perfect.
Oh,
Why
a
you
safari
messing it
fedora.
up?
Is that what you're doing?
Yes, my fedora. First of all, that's the point of my head. Don't do that. Okay? That dome up there is my head.
Who was that? Who had it? Was that like Bert? It was not Ernie, right? Bert had the pointy head, right?
Pointy head. Look at Josh. Josh is running.
Big Bird?
Bert, period. And
Now,
Ernie.
What you don't know is that the reason that I am doing, we have 4 cameras in here, soon to have 5. There's
Correct.
a reason for all of this.
Share.
You see this machine back here is being replaced by another machine. We are going to go to a system that the only one that understands this system
Is Josh.
is Josh. So our radio show should start at what time?
10:30.
So what time do you think that program that we do is going to go off?
1:30.
And what happens if we're not sitting in the seats?
It goes off.
So at 9:40, I said, we're going to have 10 minutes of black.
No, you're going to have an empty chair because the camera's going to be zoomed in on that.
Oh, no.
Baxton's in the house. Happy, what's today, Katie? Today is,
It's hump day.
it's what?
Hump day.
Oh, what the hell
That's
is that?
all I get from you? That is
Hump
a week.
day.
That is so sad.
Thank you, Baxton.
It's hump day.
Are we going to try this again, Katie? What day is today?
Hump day?
Thank you
Hump
very
day.
much. It's a little bit better. We're going to get there. It's not only hump day, it's the day before a tropical storm is supposed to be hitting South Florida. But we are here, and
I think it's going to be tonight at 1 o'clock in the morning it's going to hit.
Josh is eating some breakfast.
And
So
by
like-
the time you wake up tomorrow,
It's going to be gone.
it'll be gone.
I got a free donut.
Oh,
Really?
you get a free donut.
Kind of a free donut. It's a special
steal
donut.
What do you
no,
mean
no.
free? You talked about free yesterday too.
People
Yeah.
like him.
I got a special donut for a regular donut discount.
What?
is?
What are you talking about?
So
What'd
he had a
they give you?
discounted donut.
Show me.
Camera.
It was a. What's wrong with my camera?
It's weird.
It's good. There's different donut prices.
Looks like you're in like the wild. You're like, it's 10:32.
That is fine. What's the donut? What's the special?
Hold on. It's. Well, it's not. It's a holiday. It's a holiday cookie crumble kind of donut.
Oh.
And those are more money than regular donuts?
Thing. I guess so.
So they gave you one?
Yeah.
We give him a
No, they
discounted
didn't
donut.
give. Well, I asked for a donut and I asked for that donut. It's like it's more money, but here you go.
Oh, that was
I guess.
nice. So the extra sugar and flour that they charge, they're going to give it to him for free.
Wait, so they
Did
got a
you-
holiday cookie donut
It's
at Dunkin' Donuts right now?
Yeah.
There's a Dunkin' Donuts right down the street.
They got all holiday stuff out now. They got the peppermint, everything.
Peppermint.
You like hot chocolate and peppermint? You don't even like pumpkin.
I got
Is
hot
that what you
chocolate.
got?
I got hot chocolate right here.
Thank you very
No,
much.
I like
Stop.
I like pumpkin. I don't like peppermint.
I didn't think you liked pumpkin latte or any of that
What is
pumpkin
wrong
stuff.
with you?
He's getting ready for Christmas.
I'm ready for Christmas. Like, I don't understand. Like, I'm like the Christmas fanatic here. And I'm like, Ebenezer Scrooge.
Because Josh doesn't, it's like me. He doesn't like the Christmas music.
Why? You don't like Christmas? It makes you feel
It's
like
too
merry,
early.
It's too early.
peaceful, and joyous.
If I hear one more Mariah Carey song,
We haven't heard it yet this year.
oh my God, I've heard it.
I think
every
military
morning.
was why.
Because she's the #1 selling album for Christmas.
I have not heard any Christmas yet this year. We're still dealing with
We're
Thanksgiving.
gonna have to fix that.
But that's because you fell in your head. You haven't been listening to many things.
I know. I know. I'm really working through this head trauma thing.
Do you know her daughter was here the other day, right? Right? Remember? She showed up here. I think it was Monday.
Chelsea
or
came
Thursday
last week, yeah.
Last week.
Yeah. And so she says to her daughter, you know, Mom, I was here last week. And she goes, you weren't here.
Chelsea told me that.
And she tells me, was my daughter here?
Because her water cup, there was a water cup here with stickers everywhere, and no one was claiming it. And I thought, I don't understand. So Chelsea comes in, she goes, oh, Mom, that's mine. And I said, how did your water cup get here? She said, when I was here. And I said, when were you here? She said, last week. And I looked at her, and it was like this blank memory of head trauma. But I'm getting better, little by little.
Oh, you're getting a lot better.
I'm getting better.
You're getting better, and we're getting all confused.
All I can ask anyone following the election situation, we don't do politics,
Yes.
but this is kind of current events.
You want to see on my
see-
phone?
All I know is that DeSantis is still there, Marco Rubio
Santos
still
won,
there,
Rubio won. The one we were following, the lady and
Lois Frankel
she
won.
won. She won big.
She won big.
The House of Representatives, you have, when I last looked, 203 Republicans, 179 Democrats, but there's still more to go.
It's hard to get an incumbent out of office, is what.
No, there was a lot of upsets. 48 to 47, the Democrats have the Senate. Last I looked, Herschel Walker is going to be a runoff because he didn't get 50% of the vote, and he lost. He has less. He has 48%. You think I had 49?
I saw Fetterman beat Dr. Oz.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
That was Herschel Walker running for
Well,
Senate.
didn't you hear the biggest joke? He doesn't believe in abortion.
Oh, yeah, no,
He's anti-abortion,
yeah,
but he
I
had
know.
15 of them.
And he tried to pay for one, yeah.
He had more than one. Even the son says he has a lot more than one. His son says that.
It's really interesting. Then there's a woman who came out and apparently had accused Alan Dershowitz of human trafficking, sexual
Who's
trafficking
that?
through Jeffrey Epstein, and he totally maintained his innocence. And she
he
sued
win?
him, and he filed claims against her. And now she says, "I may have been mistaken. I apologize. I had so much trauma that it probably and was not you." So all of that has been set aside. All those charges have been dropped.
She's going to serve time for doing that?
I don't think so. Apparently, her trauma from being human trafficked through Epstein left her mind a little bit cluttered.
Wow. Legalize marijuana.
Huge. I was going to ask Josh, what do you guys think about that?
I don't think it should be legalized. I think it should just be medically legalized everywhere.
Really?
Just because if it's
I agree.
if it's
Really?
legalized, they're gonna tax it up the butt,
They are going to tax it.
and the prices of everything are gonna go up. So I want my discounted prices.
So you think this should not be recreational marijuana
I
legalization?
do think there should be recreational, yes, but they're gonna tax it
this is
way
close.
too high.
They're going to tax it just like tobacco, which is why marijuana and hemp ended up becoming illegal because of all the taxation back during the Civil War, which is when it all stopped in the first place. And now it's right back. What do they say? What's old is new again?
Yeah. I got to tell you, some of the states that were blue are
What's that have to do with marijuana, though?
Because all of it has to do with marijuana.
Did you know that Colorado?
Legalizing marijuana, let me tell you what the problem is that I can see.
More than
Because now
taxation?
it's a bigger problem because all of a sudden now it's being taxed, right? It's more expensive, right? You can get a card and you're not going to go to jail. People are going to smoke it like a cigarette.
Because Biden is pardoning everyone who had been.
Well, that's
Right?
that's,
Well,
that's
that's
another thing
another
why we
thing.
need to legalize it because there's so many people in jail.
Well, they're
For the-
gonna
for
they're
the
gonna
sm-
let them out too, but on
Okay.
federal charges, not state. But then here comes the problem.
Oh.
The drug dealers now are introducing fentanyl,
Yeah.
and they're introducing harsher drugs.
That's why I think it was Washington. They legalized every hard drug.
Well, there's
For-
nobody left there. Everybody's died in
I don't
Washington.
know what I just did. Sorry.
Oh, did you know that
Sorry.
Colorado is one of the biggest states for weed?
It is the number one state, and
Yes.
everybody got a refund the first year. Everybody got a check
Really?
because
in
of the
Colorado?
surplus in money. Because you can't put the money in the federal system.
Do you think it should be legalized? Recreational marijuana legalized.
I'm here. I'm kind of here and there. I feel
What
like
are your pros and
depending
cons?
On what you use it for, it can help people. Some people use it for.
What if
The
just for
right-
the fun of like
Getting
drinking,
high.
just the fun of getting high?
Because
I don't know about that.
the
but
side
like
effects
for-
of drinking are probably the same or probably even worse than smoking.
Yeah, but like for example, I do know people who use it for relief to their anxiety.
That's a different issue.
Right, so that's more the medical medicinal side of it.
That's how you
I
can't
do
argue
believe
with.
in that.
And that's
What-
and that's
what
more
do you do
regulated.
If you have a child, a girl, a daughter, or a son, and they came up to you and said to you, "Dad, I want to smoke marijuana,"
No,
what would you say?
no.
Because
You
why?
would say no. You would say yes.
Okay, as long as they smoke with me.
No, Dad, I'm going to smoke with my friends.
Okay.
Now, if they came up to you and said, "Dad, I want to drink,"
I want to know why you would say no.
hold on a second.
Okay.
I
Because
want
the
to know
kids-
if I wanted to
It
drink,
depends on
Dad.
how old they are.
21.
Oh, if they're 20, okay, you should have specified that because I picture like a 5-year-old child. Can I have a smoke with you,
Only
Dad?
you
Like, no.
would picture a 5-year-old child.
Yeah.
If he's 21 and he says, Dad, I want to smoke some, you know, you're out 21, you can go to war, you can drink.
What about 18?
Drinking at 18?
Can't do it in Florida, but
No.
other places you can.
What
What about
about-
Go to
marijuana?
Italy.
Marijuana at 18.
Is that the legal age?
I don't know.
There isn't a legal age because it's not
I
legal.
think it's still 21.
It hasn't
Like-
been legalized, so it's not. There
Here's
is
the
no
thing,
legal
the way
age.
I look at it, as soon as they graduate from high school and they start college, even if they're still living in my house, I don't care what they do. They're a grown up in my eyes now.
After they graduate high school?
Yes,
Freshman in college.
yes.
You
They
feel the same
can-
way?
I'd rather safely introduce them
Same.
to alcohol and marijuana with
Yeah.
my own things before they go off to college, because if they go off to college by themselves, they're obviously going to be introduced it some way
Yeah.
or another. So I'd rather introduce
it.
it my way instead
like-
of someone else.
That's
doing
very
Well, let
similar
me ask
to-
the girls because you
Yeah,
guys are out of
yeah.
college already.
Yeah. What about the
We got the
girls?
2 girls that are in
You got
college.
a mic over there?
We got a new girl with us today. We've got Kennedy joining us.
Hello.
Hopefully, a new member of the cafe. Let's move the fern away from your face, ladies.
Sorry.
How
We're
do
trying
you-
new set
So
designs.
what's the question exactly? I mean, I'm listening. But
She's Katie. She's
She's
you.
just like me.
Oh my God, I've got
They'll
2 of
ask me a
them.
question, I'll be like, what?
What?
No, I'm listening.
What?
I just want to. I want to correctly.
Somebody give me a
say my
toke.
opinion.
So pretty much,
Do you think marijuana should be legalized for recreation use?
Yes.
Why?
I don't. I see more of a harm with alcohol than with marijuana.
Okay, what if your
Josh
daughter
agrees.
or your son came to you and said, "Mom, Dad, I want to smoke"?
I'm glad that they're telling me instead of hiding
That's
it.
why I
True.
presented it that way. That was the first thing. But what would you give it the blessing?
I mean, they're gonna do it anyways. So why would I want them to hide it from me?
Good point. They're
I-
going to do what they're going to do anyway. True.
I think that parental. I mean, if I have once I have a kid in the future and they come to me and ask me that, I'm first of all glad that they're comfortable enough to talk to me about it. I'm doing something right, and also if they're gonna go off and do it with their friends, I want them to be doing it in the correct, safe way.
yeah, like,
Do you ladies think it should be legalized?
Of course, I do.
Katie?
Katie?
I think alcohol is worse than
it is.
smoking marijuana.
Like, it's
so.
Katie,
so
there's no
much
right or wrong
more-
answer. Do you think?
There's not. No, that's just my personal opinion.
Right.
Like,
Katie, what do you think, Katie?
I don't know.
You know, you kind of hear.
I've seen more harm done with alcohol than
True.
with marijuana. So
Like the things that alcohol does to people is just it's horrible.
yeah,
It can destroy somebody's life.
yeah.
Well, the problem is, well, there's so many different things. They say marijuana is a gateway drug. It leads you to the next level. And then there's
Have you ever met
people that say yes, people that say no on both
Have you ever met
sides.
somebody who does heavy doses of marijuana, like like a pothead. Do you know anybody who's a pothead?
Not as an adult.
I'm not gonna
Kids,
mention-
yes.
I'm not
You don't
gonna
know
mention-
an adult
I feel
pothead?
like I feel like
well-
I'm not that bad.
You know, but you're here on medicinal reasons.
No,
Yeah.
there are people that I know in my life that were potheads, and you could tell that they were heavy into weed.
You know, I think the difference then and now,
I don't want
then
to judge anybody. Don't get
then
me wrong.
it was you actually got marijuana and you smoked marijuana. Now what's
You don't know
happening
what
is
you're getting.
they're cutting the marijuana with all kinds of garbage
How do you know
that's
that?
killing kids. And
No.
how do I know? They're mixing not
finish eating first.
That's where you get it from because
that exactly.
the medicinal one is
That's different.
yeah.
The
but
medicinal
if you get
is-
off the streets. They can lace it with
Exactly.
a lot of different things.
Exactly.
I remember when I
So
was
the
in
regulated
NYU,
ones, you know, you're getting what you're getting.
I was
off
an
the streets
NYU
is a problem.
freshman, and my brother took me from Manhattan to the Bronx on the bus to go to a record shop to buy smoke. And I had a farmer pants on. He made me carry it.
You were 12?
No, I was a freshman in college.
Okay.
Oh, well, I was 17. I guess.
Okay.
Anyway, so I go in there, we light up this doobie, and all of a sudden, man, I'm seeing fish fly. And I had an attack. And I'm running through the streets of New Manhattan, and my brother couldn't keep up to me. I was flying, and I ran to I stopped the car to take me to the hospital, and I was freaking out. After that, man, I said, I'm done. I'm done,
So-
done.
I have a question.
Okay.
This thing.
Would you think it's okay to start testing out with alcohol at 18 with your parents? Because that's what I ended up doing.
I
When
think
I
that's a
was-
parental
Yeah.
discretionary
when I was
option.
18 or so, 17, 18, my parents would look at me and say, "No, Baxton, do you want a glass of wine? Do you want?" Because and I kind of appreciate that because they wanted me to see how alcohol affected.
We gotta change the
Why did
battery.
you do that? What was that
Go
about?
back.
You're good. I just,
You gotta change the
What was
battery.
that?
Oh, they're right down there.
They're right there.
You know, the one thing about being a parent is you don't want your kids to go to college without being educated on what's happening.
Because they're
Because
gonna
the
blow
worst
up.
thing that happens is they join a frat, they join a sorority, and they go, oh, drink this bottle of tequila, you're going to be fine, and you're not.
Yeah, for example, my mom, and I still didn't believe her when she said this to my sister. And this was when I was 18, about to graduate high school, and I was in UGA, go Georgia Bulldogs, and my whole family is Georgia Bulldogs fans. My mom graduated from Georgia, my dad graduated from Georgia, my
And we
sister
digress.
graduated from
Thank
Georgia.
you.
And
What?
my mom had asked my sister to offer me a drink
there.
while I was in what?
No, we're listening.
You have to.
They're
turn
fixing the
screen on
camera
because
at the
you
same
have to
time.
answer
To
yes or no
offer me
question.
a drink, and I didn't believe her. I was in complete
But
denial.
you were in college.
No, I was in high school, and she had to call my mom and just I had to hear it from her. But like I understand what she was coming from when they wanted me to start testing things out. They wanted me to make sure that I was in an environment that was safe for me to experiment with. But the hardest thing for me was that I traveled in London for 3 months, and there I was legal. I could.
You know,
It's-
I
it's
was
different
gonna
here.
say, you gotta be 18. You gotta be careful what you say because you gotta be 18. The kid's gotta be 18 for you to approach him and anything because anything below that is a federal offense. That's
Yeah.
the first thing. The second thing is I have to agree with Kennedy. If you can get your kid to come to you and say, on that age, that's amazing. That's the second thing.
I agree.
The third thing is, and I try to tell my boys this, is you can't be your kid's best friend. Parents have to be parents. And one of the problems you're going to have is you're going to face people with peer pressure. Your friends in school are going to say, I was the last one that ever tried in high school marijuana. I said, no, I didn't want it. I don't want to do that. No, why? Because I have my mother back here screaming at me, don't do that, Freddie, don't do that. And so I had this guilty thing. So I didn't until I was a senior. But if you got to be able to hold on to your kids before that age. If you can't do that, and the streets get them. I mean, I grew up in New York, so I don't know what you guys call
Want your
it.
kids to be able to make the educated decision. But in April 2021, Pew Research sent,
Opa!
let's try this again. According to an April 2021 Pew Research Center survey, 91%, that's huge, of U.S. adults favor some form of marijuana legalization. 91%. Think about that. That's not even questionable. Before Election Day, 43% of U.S. adults lived in a jurisdiction that had legalized marijuana for adults over 21. Sales of adults' use of medical marijuana products hit $25 billion in 2021 for medical marijuana only. And they say it could reach $100 billion by 2030, according to the Wall Street estimate, which is incredible. You think about overwhelmingly 91% of the United States thinks there should be some sort of marijuana legalization.
But the problem
and that's
also, what about
across party lines.
But what about, forget about the party lines, because they're just trying to get votes. What about the consequences? Doing it responsibly, not drinking or drugging or smoking and driving.
Well, there should be a whole PSA, I think, platform about what's going to change.
That's kind of scary. I went on 95 and I see a car coming at me and guy was impaired.
But it's no different than them coming at you if they're drunk.
You see, but
Right?
I'm not measuring wrong from wrong. I'm
It's
just
still
talking
impaired.
about you're adding more impaired to the table.
It's just impairment over impairment.
Yeah. So on the idea of children, did you know today is a World Adoption Day?
You have children?
No.
Oh my
On
God, I
the
thought you
note
said you
of
have
children.
On the note of
Today
children.
is World Adoption Day.
Is it?
Yeah, for children. Today's World Adoption Day.
Very cool.
And I would also like to bring up, I do think there's a possibility that you could be your children's best friend. My parents were by far my best friend when I was growing up. But, okay, that sounds depressing.
No, it's not. No, the camera went out.
But,
My mom's my best
pretty
friend.
much, the way I look at it, there can be two sides of a parent. And that's the parent that I plan to be. I will be the parent that's your best friend, and I will do things with you, and I will be your best friend who will hang out with you and do fun things with you. But if you cross that narrow line, then I'll become the parent from you know where and give you know what.
Yeah, but you
So
know
Josh,
something-
I just need to clarify the batteries. Kennedy was my witness to this. Freddie takes a handful of batteries. He goes, look at all the batteries we have. I say, they do not work. Kennedy, right? We had this whole conversation.
My mic on.
Well, first of all,
Yes, they do.
First
They
of all-
work for about 30 seconds.
hold on. First of all, the first battery has been on since yesterday, so that lasted 2 hours.
You said,
The second
and I
battery.
quote, and I quote, they don't need to last long.
Right, because we switch it. Well, but there you have it. This is battery 3. How in the world, where's battery 4 is on that other camera?
I don't
The
know.
two good batteries are tucked away.
I'm new here. I don't know.
You get old real fast, I'll tell you that right now.
There you go. She's back.
Yeah.
She's back. She was in here before. She's back. You know what she reminds me of? Alana.
That's what I was about to say that.
Alana the Nightmare is back.
Alana was
Nightmare.
awesome.
If Alana's listening to this, she's going to
It's
be
the
so
first day I'm
upset.
talking.
Alana
about
the
it.
Nightmare.
Alana was awesome, Kennedy. She just scared a lot of people.
I don't feel like I'm scary.
You're not.
No.
No.
I'm not scary.
Like, the way
Oh, she got
she
the
was
period
very
too.
like,
She's at the period. All right, we're going to take a commercial break. When we come back,
What's she saying?
period, with a T.
What?
Josh
What
is,
are you talking
Josh is
about?
already itching. I don't know.
Are you itching yet? Scratchy.
It is hump day, according to Katie. Happy Wednesday, everyone. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back.
We hope you're enjoying this episode of the Brooklyn Cafe TV show. Whether you enjoy watching in the mornings or afternoons, you can now watch with your favorite merchandise. Choose from the Brooklyn Cafe t-shirts, ranging from sizes small to 3XL. Colors available include black, dark heather, and navy. Feeling chilly? Just check out our latest hoodie with over 9 colors to choose from. Sip on some Brooklyn Cafe coffee with Dawn and Freddie in a matching mug as seen on set. Brooklyn hats and special seasonal items are always popping up and available upon request. To purchase, you can visit our online store at brooklyncafe.tv/shop. Happy shopping!
Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
And we're back. My God.
Oh my gosh, you guys are.
Nut crew. Anyway, welcome to our hurricane party. We haven't started yet, but
You guys are funny.
what is wrong with him?
Josh likes to egg him on. And I have to say, Josh didn't even do anything.
And he does something with Santa Claus, and he doesn't like it.
Ho, ho, ho!
He doesn't like it.
And Josh
Strange-
says, ho, ho, ho!
Strange people. Very
I don't
strange.
even know what to tell you.
All right, so you know, it's really interesting when you give permission for your kids to do things and you agree with. What about something you don't agree with? What if your kids want to have sex?
So the conversation's just going downhill.
It's not going downhill. Why is it going downhill?
That are watching,
Why
and
is
it's
it down?
going back.
Why is it downhill? It's a problem.
All you gotta do is just give them
Protection.
the safety.
Would you buy a condoms for your son?
Yes!
My dad did it for me.
It
so
depends
I did it
what
for him.
Did it for me too.
Isn't there an age
I don't
situation?
know. When does it start working? That's the age.
Like,
That I
for
do
me,
not know.
if I had a son, I would start,
More women than people.
even though I'm positive he wouldn't probably not be doing this in this stage, I do think
It's split
I-
50-50.
I'd probably start talking to him about it at
The
probably
birds
13
and the bees.
the birds and the bees, probably at 13 or something.
I gotta tell you something,
That was
buddy.
enough for time.
They're gonna learn about the birds and the bees in the street.
Ooh.
So they're gonna teach you.
Well, that's the thing, is that the parents should teach it or the school system?
Both.
We have sex education in the school.
Both.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
That made it worse.
I don't
Because they
think
used to
so.
steal the material, and then in the streets, we used to have our own
I
classes.
think there are some parents
And it was all wrong.
that don't feel comfortable talking to their children, and the kids need to learn it.
It's awkward, but it needs to be taught.
Why
See,
would a
like-
parent be uncomfortable talking to their
I
children?
wonder
Because there
why.
are different
It's
kinds of
awkward.
people, different religions, different cultures that don't believe in certain premarital extracurricular activities, but yet as generations progress, they still want to do what they want to do.
What do you do when you're this parent and all of a sudden your daughter comes home with a gift? What are you going to do? You're going to say, then what do you do?
A gift of a child?
Yeah, suppose she's 15 and she comes home pregnant. What are you going to do? You're going to say, we should have had this conversation?
When my son was 5,
That's a little young.
Aaron came to me. Aaron comes home
I
to
got
me
10, it's a little young.
one day in kindergarten. He goes, "Mommy, where do babies come from?" And I went, "Holy cow! What do? You don't say, oh, the stork drops them off at the door."
No.
So I went to the library, I got books, and thankfully he never asked again. It was kind of just like this rhetorical
He was
question.
disgusted.
I never had to give him an answer at 5 until he got older.
But you know what was awkward learning about it in school?
Yeah.
There was always that, maybe it was just me, but there was
Slideshows.
always that weird woman that would be like, "Hi, let's talk about this." And we're like, "What?" And she made it like really weird.
They
Or in
make
the
it-
film? The
No,
film?
like she was like very expressive and like
Because you don't want to be weird by it. It's
Did
a
you ever-
normal,
But it's like,
it's a normal thing.
Did you ever tell your parents what they taught you?
No.
I did all the time.
See, my kids never did until they were older and later, and Aaron would say, "Oh, this is what they taught us what not to do." And I was like, "Wow."
You see,
It's interesting.
here's what I believe. I believe that children, for example, when they get maybe 12 or 13, men, girls, and boys should go to sex ed. But I do think it's also important for them to talk about it with their family members as well, just to kind of hammer home those ideas.
You've never lived in New York, have you?
Never.
He's from Georgia.
In New
I grew
York,
up in Atlanta.
in New York, they're old school by 12. They used to wear these bands
Uh-oh.
that had colors. I told you about this, right? And somebody came and said, "Yeah, that's true." And these bands all had colors to the performance of the sexual act they were doing in school. And by the time you're 12, you were looking to have a whole arm of bands. So I found out as a football coach what was going on. I didn't believe it, and I go to the school and I told the principal. I put him on the table. I said, "What is this?"
you put them on the table.
I put them on the table to ask him. I took them off with somebody. I said, "What is this?" And he says, "Those are just those
It's time for
wristbands."
HR to come in.
But this is the problem. Nobody knew that school had its own street justice. By the time you're 12 in New York, you know more than your parents.
Oh, different schools, different things. That's why you gotta have the conversation with your kids. Anyone play the lotto?
Somebody hit.
Someone hit.
In
Anyone here
California.
play? One
But the
person
person,
got
you can't
everything.
find them.
1.9. I'm sorry,
2.19.
2.04 billion by the time.
But he
Of your
hasn't come
drawing.
forward
Well, would you come forward?
I heard that person won in California.
in California.
And
But
the
they
gas
haven't come
station,
forward.
the gas station won $1 million.
The guy hasn't come forward.
Well, he's got to figure out the financials. Maybe a woman.
No, he's got to declare it, and then he can figure out anything he wants. What happens if the guy disappears? He doesn't come forward.
Is the lottery nationwide? I thought it was statewide.
Country.
Powerball was, I think, between 43 states had the opportunity to participate in it. I think it was, plus Puerto Rico and yeah, that was the Powerball. But there is still money out there for people who
Have not
maybe just
declared.
have gotten the numbers but didn't get the Powerball. 22 tickets won
Wow,
$1 million
22
in
tickets?
prizes, matching the 5 white
Wow.
numbers but not the
$1 million
Powerball.
would be kind of nice.
So there's still
$1
$22 million out on the street
Okay.
for people that had the 5 correct numbers without the
I
Powerball.
don't want to talk about that no more because I'm depressed. I didn't win nothing.
What
We
would
didn't
you
I
play.
didn't
do
even
with
get
$1
$4.
million?
You know how people tell
sorry?
you got $4?
What would you do with $1 million?
Nothing.
Nothing?
$1 million?
Yeah.
I'll be broke in 15 minutes.
You? Yes,
Josh,
for sure.
what would you do with $1 million?
Just sit on it.
Save it
Kennedy?
I'll just sit on it.
or invest it.
What would you do?
Honestly, I don't know.
Buy
$1
candy?
million. You
I
think
obviously would save it.
Candy
but
Island?
for $1 million you can't buy an island?
Yeah, you
No,
can.
you can't.
Yes, you
I
can.
looked them up. Trust me. No, you can't.
Right now, no.
No.
Really?
$1 million is really worth $800,000 in today's
You
market.
can buy little teeny tiny little, you know.
Yeah,
I
you
probably-
can buy real teeny tiny. It's so teeny tiny you
Yeah,
can't
big
stand on it.
teenies, little islands.
Until the recession, then everything changes. See, Meta's laying off 11,000 employees.
You see, Facebook is laying off employees. Twitter is laying off
Isn't
employees.
Facebook Meta?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Meta.
Yes. 11,000 employees. They were like,
Wonder why?
fears of recession and, because people aren't putting ads on Facebook
Wonder
because
why.
of the platform and they're losing revenue.
That's right. That's what's going on.
So think about all those little ads they want us to keep putting in and boosting things and doing things and raise all those algorithms. People have stopped doing that. I guess they're going to other platforms that
Well,
don't
I had
change.
I had this conversation with Nickelodeon yesterday. She says, "I don't Facebook." I says, "What do you do?" She said, "I do Instagram." I said,
Oh yeah.
"I said,
Because she can't ever listen to the shows, right?
She actually kind of had a point.
what
on-
point does she have?"
Well, she was explaining how for Instagram. Well, I should
Share.
back to you guys.
Go
No,
ahead.
you share.
Well, I don't know if I should. Well, I don't
We
know.
were talking. I was talking to Kennedy about that this morning. We should actually let Kennedy introduce herself.
Yeah,
Who's Kennedy?
I'm Kennedy. That's me.
Kennedy, what's your last name?
Musante. It's
What?
Italian.
Musante.
Musante.
And you go to school where?
FAU.
And what is your major?
Multimedia journalism.
Hey.
Minor
Me
in
too.
communications. Really? Oh.
It's the future Steven
I
Spielberg.
have one person that has the same major.
And Kennedy with one N. That's my signature.
That's true. Kennedy will want it.
Not two.
And when do you graduate?
2024.
Just got another year and a half to go.
Yeah. Very exciting. Very, very exciting.
And what do you want to be when you grow up?
I want to go into some kind of broadcasting. I'm leaning more towards sports broadcasting, maybe. But
Are you big
I'm
on
very-
sports?
yeah, I've always played sports my whole life, and I really enjoy watching women, especially like on air, like talking, like for games and everything. So it's something that I've always enjoyed learning more about. Is that the exact career move I'm going to make? I'm not sure. I'm
What
just
sports-
taking it step by step.
What sports do you play?
I played soccer, volleyball. I did a little bit of tennis. I some of my family played lacrosse, baseball, softball. So I know a lot about different sports and everything. So.
What's your favorite football team?
Favorite football team? I don't have one favorite football team. I like the Dolphins.
Do you have a
Sorry.
favorite college?
I also like the
division?
Bears.
Oh, so you had a hard Sunday because you had a roof
I
of
know,
one
I
over
did.
there.
Are you from Florida?
Well, I was born in Wyoming, which is really weird. I feel like no
Born
one's
where?
born there.
Wyoming.
That's
Yeah.
a country?
That's a state.
Yeah. Okay. I've lived in Florida my whole life, but I was born there. So
Do you have a
You
favorite?
lived in Florida, but you were born where?
Wyoming.
In Wyoming.
Yeah.
Do you have a
How
favorite
long were you in
college division
Wyoming?
team?
What was that?
How long did you live in Wyoming?
Oh, like 4 months. But like.
You
it's
have an
so-
accent.
A little. Do I? Some people say
Florida?
that.
You have
Some
a,
people say
no,
that.
Wyoming.
Okay.
She must have a Florida accent.
know what
Some-
Wyoming was.
Do you even know where it is?
Doesn't sound like Florida.
Some people say that, but I feel like it's just not true. I
Honestly,
don't see how it could
You see
be.
the way you said
People-
not true? It sounds like very Wyoming-ish.
People say the same thing
Wyoming
about.
niche. I don't know if that's.
Welcome to Freddie.
Welcome to my world.
I lived in Chicago until I was 2. And people say, do I have an accent?
You
Yeah.
do have an
Yes.
accent.
What
have
kind
a-
of accent?
Like a
don't know.
psychopath.
Psychopath. I'll show you a
You can't say
psychopath.
that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I can't say
You
that.
can't say
I
things
can
like
only
that.
think it.
No, you
disclaimer?
cannot say that.
Where's the
We need like a
disclaimer?
filter on his mouth, like.
Why can't I say psychopath? He knows I'm only
Katie,
kidding.
we're gonna put a filter on.
Why can't I say that?
Because it's not nice.
Oh, he knows
I'm
I'm
not a
kidding.
psychopath.
You do have an accent, but we can't quite figure it out.
So, my friend told me that I have something called a lilt. You know what a lilt is?
A what?
A
A
very
limp?
sing-songy, rhymey type voice.
You do.
What is it called?
A
A
lilt.
lilt.
Like
Lilt.
Like
I've
a
never
skirt?
heard of that.
Yeah. It's
That's
it's
a kilt.
It's
A
an
kilt.
Irish.
Like a kilt?
No,
I want to see
it's
Baxter
an
come up with a
Irish.
kilt one day.
It's an Irish thing. I
Don't you
got
wear
Irish.
a kilt?
No,
Your
my
ears-
roommate has a kilt.
Bring it in. I want you to do a jig.
I like how
Okay.
it's
I know you know
He's
how to
always
do it.
happy.
On St. Patty's Day, it was the funniest video I've ever did. My roommate, he knows the Irish. He's so much more Irish than I am. He tried to teach us the Scottish dance, like a.
You do it.
But I watched him do it. Me and my roommate were trying to do it with him. We looked like two
This correct?
bozos.
Is this the correct
A lilt.
spelling?
What is a lilt?
Is that correct, Paxton?
I don't know.
Word of the
L-I-L-T,
day,
yeah.
lilt.
Parents just,
No, but do you see the?
That's a
I don't
lilt.
know how to spell it.
Let's
My
try.
roommate just says.
I think he
"Can you
made
give
it
a
up.
lilt?"
He doesn't even know he has it.
No,
Sally says she likes your hat.
Let's fact check.
Sally, you like this? This
Call
is
me
my
Zena.
way.
She likes your hat.
Sally-
Sally, you are Katie's godmother. We need you back here.
A lilt is a characteristic rising and falling of the voice when speaking.
I'm
A
telling you,
pleasant,
she's
gentle
just
accent.
like the other one.
There we go.
I summoned another Alana.
Josh,
It's what we need. We need some, you know,
you got it.
we got it. We need it.
Ow!
Oh no.
Baxton's here today because he's going to be singing on the midday show. Katie,
Listen,
you got a
don't
show
break
today?
the painting.
Oh my gosh, did I bump into John Lennon? I'm sorry, John Lennon. Imagine.
All right, so
Is everyone ready for tonight? Everyone, their house is prepared. You guys have food, water.
Yeah.
I got a text.
I got like 100 bottles of water in my house.
Katie, you all set?
anybody got extra toilet paper? Because there's none.
I have extra toilet paper. My RA said, do you understand that if the power goes out, that means we won't have AC or Wi-Fi, and that's just part of being in a storm. Duh.
I haven't told you
That's
about.
like a really nice way.
Does the dorm not have a generator?
Well, they're all saying different things. Okay, Lynn is complicated. There's
Lynn
one half
is
that's like, oh, everything's new, you'll be fine. And then the other half is like, oh, well, like, do you really want to live on campus? Because here are the issues.
When I look at Lynn, it kind of looks like a
Prison.
like a.
Prison?
I don't want to say that, but
But
like,
that's what you would
You
think.
can say
No,
it.
I was thinking more of a middle school, high school, and then also just like a corporation. Like it
Yeah.
doesn't look
It's
like
very
a college.
corporation.
But also FAU doesn't look like a college
Like a
to
mental
some people
institution.
either. It's
Yeah.
smaller, which I like. I didn't want to go to a bigger school.
You see,
And I like that I don't have to try and figure out.
Which is a small school. FAU is not a small school.
I feel like I said a
It is?
smaller school.
It's smaller compared to like UCF.
Or like
Sure.
FSU or
Isn't Lynn
UF. Yeah.
smaller than FAU though?
Lynn is
Yeah.
Lynn is smaller.
3,000.
For the whole school?
That's so many
Yeah.
people.
Building wise and like area wise, I feel like it's smaller. I don't know though.
I think UM only has like 8,000.
They're in a small.
FAU, I think, is bigger.
Lynn and
FAU
Lynn
had a lot
and
of
University of
students this year.
Miami are both
FAU
private
had
schools.
a lot,
so.
like students
Yeah.
at FAU had to stay in hotel rooms this year
Yes.
because there's so many
Yeah.
people.
Really?
Yeah, hotel like
Right.
yeah.
Do you live on campus, Kennedy?
I did last year. I don't this year.
There is nothing
I tried
smaller.
to, and there was no room.
There's no
so-
housing, right?
There's-
No housing.
there's
That's what
no-
happened to JP.
There's nothing. Yeah, JP went south. There's nothing smaller than NYU. NYU had 12 buildings, and they were scattered all throughout the city.
But how
And
many
that-
students?
Oh my God, thousands of students.
Exactly.
But they were like
But
all over
it wasn't a
the place.
campus, it was more of a commuter school.
We had Washington Square Park campus.
You weren't living on campus. You
There
didn't.
was living. There was dorm.
But you just said it was small.
No, I didn't take a dorm because I looked at it. and
Didn't
it
you
looked like
just
a-
say?
But it's small school. There isn't. It isn't spread out like
Yeah.
FAU.
But like, here's the thing. I was gobsmacked. I thought it was a joke when they said there'll be 700 graduates in my senior class at Lynn, because my job nearly hit the floor.
Why?
Because
You were one of 700.
Did you
I
guys
was-
graduate
yeah,
together?
we did.
With that
Even though we
epic
didn't know
long
each other.
graduation?
Terrible.
Wasn't it like 6 hours or something?
Yeah, it was bad.
Did you leave or you stayed?
No, we had to stay.
That's
They
what
made
I'm
us
worried
stay.
about because my last name is
No,
Lee,
they have
so
like
I have to stay.
ushers. They have like ushers.
Oh,
And we were
you're
trying
good. You're good.
like,
It,
I-
go,
well,
it
they
goes
go
by
like
schools.
college.
Yeah.
they had
But
ushers, and at
still,
one point,
like-
I was trying to sneak away with my family, and they were like, "Sit back down." Okay, but like, I grew up in a high school with like 10 other seniors. So my yeah.
Me too. Literally.
So my high
What?
school
Me too.
graduation was like 2 hours, only 2 hours.
My grade was 20 people,
Because
Wow.
like
Wow.
it was only 10 people,
and it was like all guys. It was
and
terrible.
like it was very
they're all
like,
very dysfunctional.
for crying
like
out
me.
loud, each senior had like a speech written by them by like a teacher, and each senior got like 5 or 10 minutes on stage just for like a speech. But like you was like, "Oh, Action Sumner, thank you." Get over
Baxter, are you
life.
ready for the hurricane?
Wait, we're having a hurricane?
Okay, you're good then. Katie,
Yeah, I'm
you're,
ready for the
you're
hurricane.
good in the dorm for what you need?
I don't have water bottles, but I have a water filter thing.
I gave you a water bottle and you left it here.
Oh.
There's no water in it though.
You gotta put water
Oh,
in it, Einstein.
oh.
I give you a water bottle with no water in it.
It was a refillable one.
It's a refillable one.
Well, I don't.
Oh.
I think he has.
Oh, you want me to give you the water too?
Fine, you can have it.
Somebody give me. Meet me at the toilet. I'm gonna give
You
some
did that
water.
yesterday. Remember
right.
one of the interns? She left yesterday and she forgot water.
And she came back.
So
She said, "I don't have any water."
It was
So
an
you
empty.
better go get
Because
some.
you gave her an empty water bottle.
No, I didn't give her. I said, "Here's a water bottle. Fill it." I'm supposed to fill it too.
I do not know.
Wow, should
But
I drink it
going
for
back
them
to the
too?
FAU thing, I have a friend who lives on campus. She's a junior, and she lived on campus freshman year and sophomore year. This year, since she has a residence, her dad lives here in Florida. They completely took her off housing as an option at FAU, so she has to stay at her house, and obviously all the freshmen get like the, all the good spots, and the whole hotel situation. I don't know.
I can piggyback off that. So they changed it to where if you, I'm trying to say this correctly, if you lived 100 miles or 150 miles, less than 150 miles? I don't know exactly. But if they changed it, if you live or have residency 50 miles away from FAU, you cannot live on campus anymore.
Wow.
So if even
50?
if 50. So if you live like within that
Outside
range,
of Boca, you can't
like
live
50
there.
is a very long.
You could live in
drive.
Miami and have to commute to Boca.
Yeah, a lot
That's
of people
crazy.
have to do that now. Yeah.
Wow.
A lot of my friends, they had that situation happen and they had to.
But there's no housing up here anyway.
There's no housing, and it's so, for college students. It's so expensive.
It's so expensive.
I'm thinking of renting my house at Beaucaire for $4,000 a room.
Casper, please?
You can have him.
Who's Casper?
He has a really cute cat. Actually, I haven't seen pictures yet. I need the whole model photo album.
I'll send you. Listen, if you rent one of my rooms, I'll give you the Casper.
No
for
one
free.
could afford $4,000 a month.
They pay more than that
A
now.
month?
No, for the semester.
Oh, okay.
For the semester, right?
I said
How many months are?
That's pretty good because FAU, like some of FAU housing is anywhere from 3,000 to 5,000 a semester.
There you go. I'm gonna have to do 5,000 because it's a country club.
I think it's more. It might be more now. I don't know for sure. But
B&B's, that's just
No,
crazy.
I'm gonna do that.
Lynn just wants money.
Can I do that?
I think that's
Yeah.
like all.
Five. I could
no,
put
but-
5 people in that
They don't
house.
That is
One, two,
I do.
3,
That is
They don't know how to.
4.
But you have to be dressed all the time.
I'm not gonna be there.
Where are you going?
I'm moving out. I'm
Oh.
not gonna live with. I'm not gonna can't be living with.
Housing in general right now is just awful.
Everything is so expensive for everyone. I mean, look, they're laying off employees at Meta, which is Facebook, which was like the mecca of housing, food. It's crazy how anyone can afford. Not an easy time right now.
It's not.
So you got to laugh, right? You got to add some humor to what it is.
Humor. I'm thinking about this.
Gotta
right
watch
here.
the morning show to brighten your day.
There you go.
Brighten your day.
She's good, right?
She's
She's like,
It's kind of scary.
She's saying.
she fits right in.
I'm just here.
Always,
Just
We have it all together.
always the
came
good
in
news,
one day and I'm here.
never the bad. All right, what's on Stress Less and Decompress with Katie today?
When is that playing?
Oh,
Today at
that's
11.
nice.
When did that happen?
Well,
I thought it was yesterday.
Take it away.
today's Wednesday. You still haven't showed up for one show.
You invite everybody but me.
She invites you every week.
I literally invite you every week.
I don't know what literally means because I don't read English. But you
Today.
did not
Okay,
literally invite
11
me.
a.m.
Last week I said, oh, and then we have Stress Less at 11. You said, okay, I'll be there. And I was like, okay.
You're
come.
gonna interview me?
And you didn't show up.
Can
You're
someone
gonna-
enlighten me what this is? Stress?
That's her show.
I think I can like piece the puzzles
Yeah,
together.
it's
of
about,
what it
like,
is, but-
Stress awareness, mental
Are you
health.
gonna invite me? No, Josh was on the show last week because I heard him
Yeah, but-
screaming.
He's too loud on the show, you know. It's supposed to be calming.
You're too
And
loud.
he's like a little
Oh, okay.
squirrel, like he's like squirrel.
Yeah, but you're supposed to decompress him.
I know, but I can't. We're talking about something meaningful, and he's like, "Oh, there's a piece of paper over there. You forgot it."
She's
I'm
gonna
like,
decompress
that's a
with you.
conversation for another time.
I love talking about mental health and some things that are calming, so maybe I should.
There you
You want
go.
to be on the show today?
There you go. See, I get bumped again.
Today, you can run the
Straight up.
production. All right, let's wrap this up. Let's get ready for Stress Less and Decompress with Katie. If you're in the South Florida area from, they're saying Boca Raton all the way up Treasure Coast, please be safe. Make your hurricane preparations, your tropical storm preparations. There are a lot of closings in the area, but hopefully it'll move through. Everything will be back in business by end of day tomorrow, and no power outages. Just stay safe. Be careful of standing water and hunker down.
Remember that panic serves no purpose.
We're going to see at 11 o'clock for Stress Less and Decompress with Katie, followed by our midday show with some music, some Broadway, and then we'll see what comes later. Have a great morning, everyone. Stay safe.
And don't be late.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the Brooklyn Cafe Morning Show. My mug is empty, and you know what that means.
I think it means it's time for a coffee refill.
As we prepare for other shows here at the Amp Media Production Studios.
Tune in for more fun and laughs at 12 o'clock for our afternoon show.
And remember to like, follow, and subscribe on our page.
Have a great morning, everyone. Stay safe and be kind to each other.
And don't be late.